Hey everyone, this is Martin Mi5 back for another video. How are you all doing today? Today is Sunday, October 27th. So I want to kind of get a little head start on the trading week for NIO and see what's been heard about it. It's been getting a little quiet on NIO lately. This one's called Nio Stock Forecast for 2025 through 2030. Will NIO rebound? It says this is Techopedia talking here. NIO, the Chinese electric car maker, has endured miserable time as NIO stock price has slumped 40% since the start of the year. A combination of fierce competition and trade barriers has put a damper on NIO stock price in 2024. And it's going to show you the chart here. 2024 to now, to the end, nearing the end of 2024. So it's only gone down even more. However, the loss-making company appears to be generating decent revenues and has been tipped to potentially break even by 2026. Here we look at the outlook for the company. The factors may drive demand and NIO stock price target of Wall Street Analyst. Key takeaways. NIO stock price has slumped 40% since the beginning of 2024, from 842 to 502 as the market closed on September 18, 2024. Once again, it's reiterating that it's got fierce competition, it's had losses incurred, trade barriers, all that put a damp on the stock. NIO is the 5th largest electric vehicle manufacturer in the world, courtesy of his $11.39 billion market capitalization. Consensus view of Wall Street analysts is for NIO stock price to rise 17.96% to 593 over the next 12 months. Really? You better do a hell of a lot better than that. NIO responding to economic weakness with the launch of Onvo, which is being seen as a mass market brand. So they went originally from, that's another problem with NIO, they went originally from their luxury car brand specifically to now they're getting to cheaper and cheaper products. They're basically, and then they got the Firefly. They're going to be basically the Kia or Hyundai of EVs pretty soon. Not that many people are really buying luxury cars. Summary of latest NIO stock predictions. Here we examine NIO price target analysts and algorithmic forecasters to give you an idea of what investors may experience over the coming years. So, Market Beat is saying 593 by 2025. Tip Ranks is saying 597. And Coin Codex is the most bullish, forecasting 1295. Coin Codex is also saying 8602 by 2027. And here is the outlandish prediction here, $1,472.36 precisely by 2030. That's very, very exact. What do you guys think? You really think it's going to hit $1,472.36 by 2030? Leave it in the comment section below. NIO stock analysis. The first stage of our NIO stock long-term forecast is looking to see how the company's share has performed and have been the main driver. As the stock market closed on September 18, 2024, NIO stock price stood at 502, which is 19% below its flotation price of 626 back in September 2018. It's also 92% below all-time closing high price of $62.84. That was in 2021, I believe. Yep, it was. I should have just kept reading. Over the past year, NIO stock has fallen 51% from 1031 to 502 year to date. Meanwhile, it suffered a 40% fall from the 842 level at the start of January 2024. Once again, this is the chart. It's by year 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24. Second quarter results. The most recent NIO news concerned the company's second quarter results, which were published early in September 2024. The company revealed 57,373 vehicles were delivered in the second quarter of 2024, which is 143.9% higher than the same period in 2023. This figure consisted of 32,562 premium smart electric SUVs and 24,811 premium smart electric sedans. According to William Bin Lee, the founder, chairman, and chief executive officer of NIO, this was a record-breaking delivery that secured more than 40% of the market share in the battery electric vehicle segment, priced above RMB 300,000 in China. Now, he said NIO's core competitive advantages in technology, product, service, and community are earning increasing recognition from users, driving the continued strong vehicle sales performance. Outlook for the third quarter. The company also provided the market with more recent data that showed 20,498 and 20,176 vehicles were delivered in July and August 2024, respectively. As of August 31st, 2024, cumulative deliveries of NIO vehicle reached 577,694. NIO expects deliveries of vehicles in the third quarter of 2024 to be between 61,000 and 63,000, according to his latest results. Meanwhile, total revenues should be between RMB 1,909 million, would be US 2,630 million, and 2,707 million US dollars. How did analysts respond? NIO's second quarter revenue was at the high end of his guidance, according to the most recent outlook for NIO stock. Vincent Sun, senior equity analyst at Morningstar. Vehicle margin also met the company's guidance of low teens level, gaining 6% percentage points year over year to 12%, benefiting from the larger delivery and lower battery costs, he wrote. Sun also pointed out NIO's second quarter revenue almost doubled year over year, which he mainly attributed to the 1.4 times gain in the quarter's vehicle delivery and 11% fall in the average selling price. We expect the company will break even in 2025, with CNY 1 billion in net profit, as growing economies of scale and lower unit production costs will lead to improved outlook for NIO for vehicle sales profit. Latest NIO news. Battle with EU over tariffs. The European Commission has rejected offers by Chinese electric vehicle makers to adjust their prices to avoid higher tariffs, according to reports. The Financial Times claimed EU officials had to protect European manufacturers from being undercut by low-cost China-made rivals. It follows the European Commission announcement in July 2024 regarding the duties of imports on battery electric vehicles, aka BEVs, from China. Onvo brand makes its debut. Earlier this year, NIO officially unveiled a second brand known as Onvo, which will have a focus on families. Is China's demand for EVs strong? Almost 1 in 3 cars on the roads in China are set to be electric by 2030, and almost 1 in 5 both U.S. European Union, according to the International Energy Agency. Its annual global EV outlook, published earlier this year, it predicted that global electric car sales would reach around 17 million by the end of 2023. Sales grew 25% in the first quarter compared to the same period in 2023, while the number sold globally in that period is similar to the total for all of 2020. In 2024, electric car sales in China are projected to leap to about 10 million, according to 45% of all car sales in the country, it stated. The report also noted that growing electric car exports from China automakers, which accounted for more than half of the electric car sales in 2023, could help force down prices. Chinese companies, which are also setting up production facilities abroad, have already seen strong sales of more affordable models launch in 2022 and in 2023 overseas markets, it explained. This highlights the composition of the main EV producing economies is diverging considerably from the traditional auto industry. 2026 is set to be an EV tipping point. The year 2026 has emerged as a tipping point for acceleration in EV adoption, according to S&P Global Mobility. The latest EV trends report that predicted that more than 1 in 4 new passenger cars sold will be electric by 2030. Many major vehicles manufactured worldwide have signaled the end of the era of the internal combustion engines, aka ICE. I didn't know I had ICE under my hood the whole time in my car. As the transition to zero-emission vehicles is ramped up, it's stated. Only problem is they're not zero emission. It takes a lot of emission to create these vehicles. That's what people don't understand. Top automakers are expected to account for more than 70% of global EV production by 2030, compared to 2022 when the figure stood at just 10%. However, it highlighted potential stumbling blocks that can only be solved by a joint effort between automakers, utilities, government, and private property owners. Despite the rapidly growing choices EV consumers have and unprecedented loyalty rates among EV return buyers, the industry as a whole still needs to tackle consumers' range anxiety, particularly for those without a garage or traveling long distances. Nio Stock Prediction 2025. What did the analysts say? Next, we look at Nio Stock projections of analysts. They are optimistic about the outlook for Nio and what is the most realistic Nio stock price prediction. Chinese brands are now becoming more visible across Europe. So here's going to say some quotes. Car makers have a pretty torrid time of late trying to adjust to changing legislation and cash-strapped consumer. But the turmoil has opened up a gap that Chinese car makers like NIO have raced through. Another one said, these brands are now becoming more visible across Europe despite imposition of tariffs, she said. Legacy automakers have had to adjust to rethink their plans, whilst NIO, ET, Al have pushed down harder on the accelerator. Renewed enthusiasm for NIO. According to Susanna Streeter, head of money markets at Hargreaves Lansdowne, there has been a renewed enthusiasm for NIO. Personally, I have not seen that much sentiment, otherwise the price would be going higher than it is, you would think. The electric car maker has shown it's still making deep inroads in the Chinese market, where it now holds more than 40% share. So let's see here. NIO could be undervalued for long-term investors. Vincent Sun, senior equity analyst, Morningstar, currently has a fair value NIO projected stock price of $760. In his NIO share price forecast as of September 6, 2024, he gave a relatively upbeat appraisal prospects for the company. Despite intensifying competition, even in the premium segment, we believe NIO is undervalued for long-term investors. In the comment section, how many of you guys agree with that? While acknowledging that the vehicle margin is likely to remain under pressure in near term, given price competition, he expects it to continue the sequential recovery trend. Management indicates that the margin will further expand in the second half due to lower battery costs, and the company targets to record mid-teens level vehicle margin in the fourth quarter, he added. Next, we'll look at NIO expected stock price analyst and algorithmic forecast for the coming year over year, the long term. So is NIO a buy, hold, or sell? NIO stock predictions. This is probably the part you guys have been waiting for here. What are the latest analyst NIO expectations? Well, the stock is rated as a hold according to Nio Stock Forecast of 11 Wall Street analysts compiled by MarketBeat. Their consensus Nio Stock Forecast is for the price to rise 17.96% to $593 over the next 12 months, although opinions vary. $593 is not very much. Just saying. The highest forecast is for NIO stock price to reach $8. The most pessimistic predictions are for it to fall to $4. You know that that could be very well possible. So NIO is rated as a moderate buy according to the 11 analysts, and the consensus view for NIO stock future price is to hit $597 next year. Now, when I say next year, we're already at close to the end of 2024 here, so we're talking January. Better be by January. Meanwhile, the algorithmic forecast of all investor class NIO as a bad long-term one-year investment with the price flatlining to $0 at 2025. Really? That's a little odd. So just more chart stuff here. Bottom line, should you invest in NIO? NIO certainly may have a reason to feel glum, while the stock price may have slumped 40% since 2024 and down 51% on where it was a year ago. So, kind of glum, they're saying. But now they're also saying that CoinDex has the price rising to $1,472 by 36 cents by the start of January 2030. So if that's true, that's beyond great news. I don't know about that, but we'll have to wait and see. I know this video was a little bit longer. If you guys stuck to the very end, thank you so much. I'm going to cut this video now. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you click that little notification bell. Turn on all notifications so you'll be notified when I do my daily uploads. You don't want to miss out. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next video.